Yeah, 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 yeah. Static on the screen, another talking head. Spitting out the same script, the same old dread. Pointing fingers, yelling loud, but the mic's dead. Dusty insults, man, it's stale bread. Nazi this, Nazi that, yo, it's 2016. Recycle slander in a loop, same machine. Gray suits with a green gleam, fighting over shadows, lost in the meme dream. Need new words, better bars, sharper blades. This ain't a battle, just a tired charade. Call it like I see it, a parade of charades. Yo, we need better names for these crusades. Echo chambers booming, the bass line's fake. Same old beef, different steak on the plate. They tweak with claws out of keyboard quake, but it's too food tough, ain't nobody gonna break. Scroll the timeline, it's a time loop curse. Everyone's a villain in someone else's verse. Nazi worn thin, man, it's lost its bite. Throw it in the dumpster, make room for insight. Yo, name call circus, spinning the wheel. Labels stick cheap, but they don't feel real. Oppressor, aggressor, the insult roulette, but the house always wins, don't you forget.
So guys, if microphones on a mission to spread light, I think the whole world would agree. The system is down. 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 But they're doing their best to bring humor and light into this dark world. But the system is down. The system is down. The system is down. The system is down. Ben and Dave are trying their best, but the world keeps throwing its mess. But they laugh and carry on. The system is down. 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 But Dan and Dave are trying their best, but the world keeps throwing its mess. But they laugh and carry on. The system is down. 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 Dan and Dave are trying their best, but the world keeps throwing its mess. But they laugh and carry on. The system is down. The system is down. The system is down. The system is down. Dan and Dave are trying their best, but the world keeps throwing its mess. But they laugh and carry on. The system is down. Dog trying to grab the arm. The system is down. The system is down.
This is a Dissident Media production. DissidentMedia.net.
In a world where everything sucks, two men have the balls to laugh at it. This is The System is Down.
Back in my day, being a Nazi meant something. You know, young whippersnappers are abusing words and watering them down. There's not much news, but we're going to talk about it. Let's go.
Handle the truth. You can't
You ain't in it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while, but we are back, and today's episode is brought to you in almost its entirety by people in the Downers Club, people like Aaron, Michael, James, William, Sir Turn, Nathan, Keenover, Gilda, Kate, John Winshower, Bob Seaford, Drugs for Robots, Autumn, Sean, CD, Zachary, Maxwell, Kimberly, Noah, JC, Justico, Silence, Joey, Perry, Adam, Donald, Matt, Osmotesh, Sean-Luc Picard, Stoney, Rick, Craig, Tim, Howie, Brian, Mary, Justin, John, and many more. If you want to get your name on that list and have it read incorrectly someday, go on over to patreon.com/the system is down. The system is down. We'll get more weird, more raw, more offensive, more generally weekly whenever we can do it weekly content. We might do some today. I've got some. If we get there, there's a lot of nothing that we have to talk about. Almost nothing happened in the last 3 weeks that we haven't done news, but we got to talk about all the nothings that did or did not happen, and I don't like to talk about these things all by my lonesome. Why am I on that camera? Oh, there we go. I don't like to talk about these things by myself. I like to bring my sidekick along with me. My boy, Mr. David Casey. Dave, alone, solo, apparently. We got this. Oh, nope.
Try it again.
There's Dave. There we go. And again, Dave Casey, everybody. I should have the confetti. Here we go.
Where's the confetti, bro?
Confetti. I'll even give you the fish. I don't
great.
know. It's been far too long, Dave. And like we missed last week. I missed last week. You said that you weren't going to be able to do last week, but I wasn't able to do last week anyway, so it didn't really matter whether you were
Great
okay. The fish isn't going to go away. It's just going to reset every time I push the button. So the fish is going to hang out until he tuckers out and goes on his merry way. But last week, you and I were both busy, and the week before that, I had Buck on to share his story and talk about Orthodox Christianity and all that stuff. 3 weeks ago was the last time you and I talked about any news at all, which is nearly a month, and I don't feel like we missed much. I'm going to be honest. Like, I do have a shit ton of tabs opened up here for stupid stuff that happened, but as far as, like, breaking news or anything, or stuff that I'm like, ooh, I need to get on the internet and talk about that, there wasn't much.
That's okay, man.
What would you say since the last time we talked is the most interesting news headline that you've read?
Probably that, Palantir is making big moves, like more money than ever. That's, just that sucks, obviously, but we could just big picture stuff if there's not, like little salacious news articles out there, man. As you've said in the past, CK is still dead. And
yep.
I'll tell you what, man.
Charlie Kirk is still dead and people are still yelling about it.
These conservative influencers could give David Hogg a run for his money in the coffin surfing department. That's pretty despicable behavior.
That's not untrue.
So,
and we'll get into a few, if not
gross.
all of them. Yeah, there's been a lot of name calling, a lot of back and forth. You're a Nazi, you're a bigot, you're an anti-Semite, you're a this, you're a that. Like, on both sides of the party, I feel like everybody, like, is just, like, all the news is currently is somebody calling somebody a Nazi. It doesn't matter what side they're on or have been on or what they're saying. The only news that there is currently is that person is a Nazi, and it's tired.
Dude, do you take any joy in the fact, like, it's so funny too that it parallels like Dave Smith's meteoric rise, that like also like
mediocre rise, you mean?
Ding, where's that fucking so as that's happening, on the other side, you're seeing people call not just Nazis, but the antithesis of that is the Fed. And I love that's what you're going with tonight, because it just it's a great thing to watch on a national and global scale. It's
the Spider-Man meme everywhere. Just everybody pointing fingers at somebody, and that person's pointing fingers at somebody else, and that person's pointing fingers back at the first person. It's so annoying.
I love it, dude. The CIA said you wouldn't be able to tell what's up, what's down, and they're so on point. You can't even tell.
Yeah, they're doing great. But I will not let them ruin Halloween week, Dave. Halloween
Fuck
week
that.
is coming up next week, which is my favorite time of the year because, you know, it's more comfortable weather for wearing the types of depressing attire that I like to wear, and yeah, it's a dark time. It's nice.
Hoodies up, dude.
Also
Yeah,
pumpkin spice lattes or some shit. Not really. I don't like candles, but yeah, this was going around this last week, and there were a lot of boomer conservatives on the internet that were just outraged by this clip. And let's see what you think, Dave. For the audio listener, there's some sort of zombie man. He is severed in the middle, and he's got some of his intestines hanging out at the bottom. This is a Halloween decoration, and he's like shaking and writhing around, chained up by the arms. You can hear the motor running for him in the background, it sounds like. But yeah, somebody, no context human, said, "This is the scariest Halloween decoration I've ever seen." That's not the issue. The issue is more like people like Joel Berry, who said, "Halloween season is getting darker and uglier, and it's even taking over other seasons. We now have Thanksgiving horror movies, Valentine's Day horror movies, and even Christmas horror movies. This is a bad sign for our culture that they dare have Halloween decorations up around Halloween, because having this scary I saw somebody else said, some other conservative influencer was like, "I would be contacting my HOA about this," or something. I think it was actually a libertarian anarchist influencer or something that said it. It's like, yeah, okay, HOA anarchist, that's great. But yeah, I don't know. Am I underreacting to this, Dave? Several people said that they would be terrified to take their children around this, and I'm like, my kids would fucking love this, and they would happily walk past it every day. Is this just me being desensitized by the evils of Hollywood and they're smashing Halloween into every other holiday and destroying our culture? Or is this just boomers being boomers again?
I love that that's your take. And we've talked about how you like horror movies and this kind of world of stuff, really, and that's not my thing.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely correct here. Of course, this is why boomer conservatives are terrible, because they need to be offended by these terrible,
Halloween decorations.
They need to be offended by the fucking, what's going on overseas in Jesus' name. They need to be offended by these pastors that come out and tell people.
We'll get to John Hagee.
Okay, they need to be offended by that kind of shit, and not like, some dude who put in extra work for some Hollywood effects on that shit. And of course, that Zio cocksucker Joel Berry from the Babylon Bee. Mm-hmm. Nobody's gotten more $7,000 checks than that dude.
Sure.
Is out there totally offended while he champions, the murder cult every day. What a piece of shit.
Yep, and we will get to all of that and much, much more. But a few nothings to get out of the way. Have you ever played the Assassin's Creed games, Dave?
Maybe a little bit.
You're like an assassin from way back in like the Illuminati days, kind of, and you're going around fulfilling Illuminati missions. It's a great game. It's great. It's a lot of fun. But the latest one that they were going to put out got canceled. Did you hear about this by chance?
No.
It got canceled. Ubisoft canceled Assassin's Creed game set after the Civil War, featured a black assassin who was formerly a slave, would fight the emerging Ku Klux Klan. Leadership canceled it, concerned with U.S. political climate and Yasuka backlash. I don't know. I can make arguments on both sides on this one. I don't think they canceled it because they love racism and they love the KKK. I think they probably canceled it because everything is racially heightened, politically heightened, and violence is on the rise that is politically motivated, and they probably didn't want somebody going out and, I don't know, assassinating somebody that they deemed a Klansman and then blaming it on Ubisoft because they put out the Assassinate Klansman, the video game. Just a guess. What do you think?
I think that they pussied out or whatever. Maybe they're just doing this, because they think it's a bad investment or whatever. But I would have been, if that came out, and I would have no issue with that game. And fucking
fun.
Django Unchained was badass. That was a good fucking movie.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I'm okay with fucking fiction. Like, go ahead, tell the fucking story. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So I wish that they would have put that out. I mean, it sounds like I don't know. That's cool. I would play that. I would be like, all right, let's go fucking kill some. Sure, you're gonna fucking.
I mean, I played GTA and murdered just general pedestrians and hookers and politicians, and that was fine. So yeah, I'm not sure what the big deal is really.
How many millions of hours of Call of Duty have people put in over the past 25 years? Yeah, you can shoot people on video games. It's okay.
Yep. Well, it's just I don't have a transition for this, but just more junk news that came out that just came without warning and didn't really make the impactful headlines that I would expect them to if hypothetically NASA confirmed that the Earth actually has 2 moons now. That seems like it should have been bigger news than just a whisper campaign on the Twitters. But a team of astronauts from Hawaii confirmed the existence of a quasi-moon, officially named 2025 PN7, and is the size of a small building. It orbits the sun, but appears to orbit the Earth like 2 runners on a track. Meanwhile, the government is still shut down, but Congress is still getting their. All right, yeah, we got your political bullshit, whatever. So yeah, we've apparently got 2 moons. I don't think this is an actual picture, but I don't think NASA actually puts out actual pictures of the actual moon either. So maybe this is. I don't know, but this is depicting the Moon 2 as being the same size as Moon 1. But I mean, my conspiracy antenna goes up a little bit. Most likely, this is kind of nothing. It's an object that is now orbiting us. I don't think it's. If anything is orbiting us, it makes sense that other objects would orbit us. I don't think anything really is, but it's fine. It feels more like a setup to me.
Why would they want to call attention to the fact that nothing's really orbiting us with this obviously fake story?
I mean, they always call attention to it because they gotta. It feels to me like this is some sort of setup to be like, oh, if you happen to notice, mysterious things in the sky, that's because remember when we said we have 2 moons now, and not only that, but we got this new moon. It's not just a asteroid or something that's going to fly away. This supposedly will travel with us until 2083. So good chunk of time there that we're going to be living with 2 moons, and it barely even made the headlines.
Yeah, it's just a building.
Yeah. How big of a building? And I mean, Pluto went back and we went back and forth on whether or not Pluto was a moon or a planet or whatever, and we've got this, and we're like, it's a moon. Okay, well then it's big enough to be noteworthy. It's big enough that you would think we would, the moon that we currently have, supposedly, as it moves around, it changes the tides because the gravitational pull from the moon changes the water or something. Shouldn't we know if we have another one of those things that's gonna fuck some shit up? Maybe. I don't know.
Is it big enough to fuck shit up?
I don't know.
You don't even believe in the other one though.
Correct.
So this is just like
That's
this
right.
Must be just double fuckery for you.
I'm just saying, if A
Lies
then
on
B.
top of lies.
If it is such a cataclysmic thing that a moon causes shifts in our our ecosystem, then another moon coming into our orbit would be a big deal, I would think. Maybe not. I'm no scientist.
Yeah, but Moon 1 is huge.
That's true. And Moon 2 is
Right, we can't even see that shit. It's a speck.
growing, just getting started. Anyway,
Right. New moon.
it may not matter because Trump just announced allegedly that that the Trump administration is considering eliminating the National Aeronautics and Space Administration.
Nazi fags.
That's right. The NASA allegedly. I know that this is just as realistic as Obama getting arrested for treason, but I do enjoy the headline that Trump is thinking about shutting down NASA. And quite frankly, if we haven't been able to put a man back on the moon in like 55 years, then probably, yeah, if we have less technology now than we did around the time that JFK mysteriously got assassinated, completely unrelated, then you would think that at some point you got to say, hey, if we are degrading our technology, while everything else in society, the technology is ramped up to 11 to the point that we can talk to our phone and have it answer all the questions in the universe, but we still can't have it tell us how to put a man back on the moon. Any day now, I'm sure we'll get it. Perhaps this is just Trump threatening them to get that moonshot mission again, but whatever. We're going to Mars. We're going to terraform Mars because Earth is dying or something, and everything makes sense.
Mars, bitches.
Yep. Any thoughts on NASA supposedly going away, which will inevitably lead to absolutely nothing, Dave?
I'm glad he's shutting down that 80-year-old Nazi-founded institution that all these motherfuckers can launder money and fake moons for my friend Dan to bug out about. It's great.
That's right.
Shut that shit down. And maybe he's I don't know. Maybe they got to figure out a new way to launder money. And obviously, yeah, like the jig is up. You know, maybe they got to get rid of just like they got rid of those VHS tapes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, NASA did because for whatever taking up too much space. Just got to get rid of NASA. It's taking up
telemetry data. You know, you got to get rid of it because they're not a storage facility or a library. So you just got to throw it away because, you know, a library or a museum would definitely not want man's greatest accomplishment, history. But anyway, whatever. Enough about the moon, the fake moon, or the fake moon landing. Either way. More important things to be outraged about right now. The White House is being destroyed. The people's house is being destroyed, Dave. It's being demolished and just turned into a pile of rubble, we are led to believe, by people like, let's see, Diddy, trustworthy source Diddy on Twitter says, that's a historical building, and that motherfucker just tore it apart. The East Wing facade was built in 1902. No president has ever demolished part of the White House for their own personal gain, and don't even try to say that's not what this is. It's also possibly illegal. I didn't bother to look it up. Get that bastard son of a bitch criminal out of the goddamn White House. Oh. I don't even have a sound effect for that. It's just, I don't know.
I love democracy.
I guess that'll do. There's a few takes, a few different ways of looking at this, and as always, the Democrats are going straight to it. Trump did it, therefore it's the end of the world. The sky is falling, and you need to be outraged. There's the more reasonable take of, hey, we're blowing shit tons of money on Israel and Ukraine and just a bunch of stupid shit wars. And also our economy is tanked and we are trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. Maybe we don't need a fancier ballroom in the elitist gala, whatever. Like, maybe we don't need the Hunger Games to look prettier. Maybe you could just do your fucking job and stop spending all of our money making your golden toilets. Now, if Biden had done this, I would have the same criticism and critique. I think that's stupid on that note. And more so, I guess, at the end of the day, I don't care that much because they're going to blow trillions of dollars and we're going to sit back and watch it happen no matter what they do. And I guess we can look better in front of Benjamin Netanyahu now that we have a fancier ballroom to dance around in. You got any thoughts on this, Dave?
Actually, I'm really fascinated by this. And I suppose it's definitely possible that Donald Trump just wants to make that place bigger and beautiful and more gold. He's hung up so much gold in the White House. It's like lined with gold. Yeah, he's just put it everywhere. He feels better around it.
It's not off-brand for Donald Trump to want things golder.
Right, he's definitely going for that. But I am always interested in, hey, well, what are you really doing? That's always what I'm asking, right? So, like, does he really want it? Like, you're going to be a year in no time. You're only going to be there for a couple more years. So you're either really planning that, like, your lineage is going to come in after you and you're going to have a whole fucking Baron Trump will be president and the whole thing. But like, why would that be so important to you? I'm like, what are you really building there? Like a fucking, like, I don't know, command center or something. Like, what the fuck? Why? And how did you get permission to do this? Like, you'd think that everything has to go through committees and all this shit. Like, whose idea was this? And like, it just seems kind of.
Yeah, the
Of course,
Democrats'
Donald Trump
complaints
likes
aren't
to-
completely unfounded. Like, what is the process for remodeling the White House? Are you allowed to just demolish the way they make it sound is that he just demolished the entire thing and is rebuilding it. Does he have the authority to do that? Or is that a congressional vote? Or how does that even work? I don't know.
Right. You're just a temporary resident there. Did you just like order that? Because that's fascinating.
You're
if
a
that's
quarter
how that
through
works.
the rest of your time here, sir. What are you doing? Calm down. Focus on being the president and stuff.
Right. Well, like you said, dude, in the title of the episode, everyone's feds. So I don't know. The story is they're building a big, beautiful ballroom. And that's
right.
definitely could be true. But
no, the story is, according to Hillary Clinton, it's not his house, it's your house, and he's destroying it.
These people are so retarded. They're so retarded.
Calm the fuck down a little bit. Like, yeah, it's gross and it's stupid, but it's not my house, and it's definitely not Hillary's house, no matter how much she wants it to be. But, you know, it's a remodeling job. And I'm sure it'll look very beautiful, much like, you know, where they remodeled the Charlie Kirk assassination site, just as you do, to make it look better. I'm sure it'll look better, and there's definitely not a cover-up there on either side. Who knows?
The funny part is, dude, all of the corporate press and all of the Democrats criticizing this will enjoy the ballroom. They'll all be there, and they'll all use it
when they win next time.
Yeah, they'll all exactly. And then that will be funny to see who's fucking drinking $1,000 bottles of champagne and shit.
It won't matter. They'll be hypocrites again, as they all will, and Trump will attend the ballrooms, and they'll all party and have champagne and laugh at us while we pretend like they ever gave a fuck. I am of the opinion that very few people are trustworthy out there anymore. And we didn't even mention yet the most important thing of last weekend, the No Kings rally, where a whole lot of people went out and protest Donald Trump being a dictator and a king, and we don't like that. We don't like kings, and we don't need to get too deep into it because it's already almost a week old, and it seems like nobody cares. I don't know why. There was a lot going on, but I do want to play at least one bit of it. This is the footage that I saw of the No Kings protest.
No kings.
Oh my God.
No kings. No kings.
Fuck.
No kings.
Ooh.
In the USA. No kings. No king in the USA. No king. No king. No king. No king.
Right.
Oh my God.
I think they
you.
accomplished their mission, as far as I can tell. Yeah. Did you catch? I mean, I don't mean to be too hyperbolic or whatever. Like, I don't care. I've seen this happen so many times at this point. I don't give a shit. There were a lot of people that showed up to like the Chicago one or whatever. There were supposedly millions of people that showed up to protest Donald Trump being a king. And at this point, we've certainly got our complaints with Donald Trump, but then the No Kings rally came and the No Kings rally went, and it looked about like that. And Donald Trump's going to remodel the ballroom now. Good job. I don't know. Like, am I being too much of a dick to people who are protesting a guy that we have our own complaints with? Or is, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anymore. Should they have done that? Should I care? Do you care? Did you see anything?
Oh, you should definitely care, because this is not an organic. Obviously, this is not organic. This is highly astroturfed, the most funded. You're like, oh, the most people ever. It's like, yeah, that's because you spent the most money ever
Right.
on your protest. Dude, it's, and this was like in lockstep. You had U.S. senators, Democratic senators, out in the streets, helping put. We got to resist fascism and Nazism. To take it back to the title of the episode. This is an ever moving, still moving coup. That's what they're doing still, and I think they're trying to go. Gavin Newsom is trying to make this shit go nuclear.
Yeah,
like I think they're all part of it, but he's really.
Gavin Newsom wants to be
pushing
president real bad, real bad.
Right, and he probably. I mean, people sleep on Gavin Newsom, but he's going to get it. If it's not going to be. They think that he's been stupid enough to the point where people won't vote for him because X, Y, and Z. No, you obviously just saw that these people who were out in these rallies are like that Neanderthal that you just put on the screen. Like, that was hilarious. He does not represent the majority of the people who attended No Kings. The majority of the people who attended No Kings are white, liberal, boomer women.
Mm-hmm.
That's who they are fucking weaponizing. Now, there's some obvious bitches, male beta ass losers, and I'm sure they got some of their commie coalitions showing up for some of this. But dude, they are really weaponizing these people. And I think they're waiting for a boiling point moment, or they're gonna orchestrate that somehow. That's what I'm picking up with all this shit. So yeah, you should care about that. I think it's not just because they can do it.
You see how fake and gay though. It's all fake. None of it's real. Nothing is real.
No, but the Charlie Kirk shit, dude, proved.
I'm not even sure that's real anymore. What they can do. Yeah.
No, what I'm talking about, the effect of it.
Sure.
The effect, what we saw, the people who wish, it's not just a line, these people want you dead. There are actually a lot of people who want you dead.
Yeah.
That is actually true. You can see that now. And these people are still whipping them up. They're still inciting violence. These motherfuckers with their doublespeak. They say that you're guilty of that, or anybody who, whatever, waves a Gadsden flag.
Yeah.
But it's them. That's what they are doing. Still, the Maxine Waters of the world, Lisa Blunt Rochester's, Chris Coons, these people are in lockstep pushing this forward, dude. I think they want to go hot.
Speaking of pushing, rebooting things and pushing them forward, just thought this was worth a share. Allegedly, President Trump reportedly received a COVID booster today. So, your guy, yes, he's going to save us. Any minute now, he's going to start making better choices and stop praising booster shots and getting booster shots. And he's doing great. He's doing great, y'all. Now, this next thing I think that we need to bring up, because I feel like it, much like if we discovered a second moon, this probably should have been a bigger headline than it was. Greta Thunberg is back in the news because Greta Thunberg took her little dinghy out to Israel to save the world again, and she got the story. As it goes, as far as I've understood it so far, is that she was going to deliver aid to Gaza and she got intercepted by IDF vessels and taken into custody. And the latest is that she says, they kicked me every time the flag touched my face. I don't know what that means. She said that they starved her, they kicked her, they hit her, they tortured her. Allegedly, she was filmed while stripped naked. Whenever she raised her head to look at Ben Gvir, she was kicked. Prison was 40 degrees, but no water was given to Greta and her friends for days. People fell sick. Guards mocked them, saying they would gas them, showing them cylinders. She was kept in solitary confinement for hours with bugs. Greta went on to say that she said, I don't want headlines about Greta being tortured. That's not the story. The story is Gaza. So she was sexually abused. She was tortured. She was whatever, beat to shit, filmed naked, whatever. And she's like, don't talk about me. Talk about Gaza. Well, honey, here's the problem with that. The problem is that if the IDF treated you as a public figure who was, there to deliver aid to Gaza in such a way as that, if that is at all true, then that needs to be a headline. That needs to be talked about, because if they're treating public figures that way, who are definitely going to go back and talk about it, people that they can't, keep in custody, they can't kill, they can't really silence because they know people will be looking for. If they're treating you that way, how do you think they're treating Gazans, the people that you're supposedly there to be helping? I still don't trust Greta Thunberg, and I think that she should be back in school where she belongs. But I don't know what to make of this. I don't trust Greta, and I definitely don't trust her when she says, yes, awful, awful, awful things happen to me. Please don't talk about it. That seems weird. But if they did happen, we should be talking about it. I'm torn. What do you think, Dave?
I'm on Team Greta, bro. I don't know. It's just everything's upside down these days. So I'm not going to, I have no reason to assume that she's lying, right? I don't know, unless this is some weird campaign that they're doing. I don't know. I think that she believes all the climate bullshit, and I think she believes this too.
Sure.
So
do you think that she was abused and molested to some degree, as she seems to be claiming?
I don't know.
By the Israeli, whatever, intelligence or military or whoever incepted her?
I'm saying those guys need a better reputation, because then that wouldn't hold so much weight. But they're disgusting pigs. So,
but why would she be like, no, don't talk about this. Talk about Gaza, where they're definitely doing worse things if they're doing this to me. Seems weird.
I mean, that's kind of like the move that, like these, whatever. She's still like, that's what you would say, right?
Sure.
If you're a public figure, so
sure.
Assuming she's not lying.
Pretty bad, though, because if she isn't lying, she's exposing some really, really, really bad behavior by the Israeli government, which seems noteworthy in this conversation.
It is, but like you said, it's only noteworthy because of who she is, because they have been, not just accused, but there's photos of these guys they're disgusting. So
they also allegedly wrote "whore" on her suitcase. Put little, some people are saying those are Jesus fishes that they drew on there to mock her or something. I don't think she's like the hardcore Christian that the Jews might think she is, but Jewish stars on there, Greta, whore, whatever. I don't know. I mean, I have no reason not to trust her, but I also have no reason to trust her, and I have no reason to think that she couldn't just Sharpie her own bag. We've seen that plenty of times, especially from Democrat activists, a la Jussie Smollett.
Listen, man, I'm going to be honest with you. This confirms my biases, so I'm going to let it go for now. And if we find out that
it's probably true, based on that I like it.
Right, I agree. So until I hear otherwise, that's where I'm at.
Yep. It sounds believable, because also breaking news as of this last week, Donald Trump brought peace to the Middle East. Peace. To such an extent that there was a deal signed by both parties. He was up for the Nobel Peace Prize by a lot of people's standards, and everybody was arguing about, should Donald Trump get the Nobel Peace Prize? And some Republicans were like, well, if Barack Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize and Donald Trump doesn't get the Nobel Peace Prize, then the Nobel Peace Prize is bullshit. And I'm like, if either of them got the Nobel Peace Prize, the Nobel Peace Prize is bullshit. If either of their names are even up for consideration, even thrown into the hat, then the Nobel Peace Prize has nothing to do with peace, because they were both terrible on that very specific topic that your prize pretends to be about. Any thoughts on that, Dave? It ended up being I don't know who got it.
No, just complete agreement there. I don't know how long the Nobel Peace Prize has been a shell of an award, but it's definitely not worth shit. At least since Barack Obama got it, while he launched his historic drone campaign and shipped off more illegals than Donald Trump has been able to do thus far at a faster rate. So, people in cages and whatnot, selective rage, I suppose. But
yep. They both do the same thing, and then the opposite side is just mad about the same thing that they were cheering on 4
Right.
years before. It's very tired. But with all the drone strikes from Barack Obama, all the drone strikes from Donald Trump, if you personally find yourself being drone striked by either of them and you're shitting your pants, then you should go do yourself a favor and elevate your daily comfort with sheath underwear. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The innovative dual pouch design provides unparalleled support and separation, ensuring each part of your man parts has the space that it deserves. Balls.
You can get the next line.
It's Dave here. That's right, boy. Experience the sophistication of a design that respects your anatomy. The moisture-wicking technology sets a new standard in comfort. This advanced system not only keeps you to jump in whenever you want, cool, but also prevents chafing and odor. Boy, that's right, dog. Making every movement feel effortless. Right, Dan?
Damn right. So go to sheathunderwear.com and use promo code SYSTEM at checkout. Experience the perfect blend of comfort and functionality with Sheath. Again, that's sheathunderwear.com. Use the promo code SYSTEM.
Now, if you tried Sheath underwear and it didn't quite give you the euphoric release that you are looking for in life, then you should try Mycadelics. That's right. Connect with nature's wisdom through Mycadelics mushroom grow bags by Tyson 2.0 and Shroom. Now you can cultivate your own sacred mushrooms at home, boy.
That's right. These all-in-one kits guide you on a transformative journey, guys. Just add the liquid culture, witness the miracle of growth. The advanced filter technology preserves purity, allowing multiple harvests in 4 to 6 weeks.
So go to advancedmyco.com and use promo code SYSTEM to save $5 at checkout. Embrace mindfulness and spiritual nourishment. Begin your mushroom journey with Mycadelics grow bags today.
Must be 21 or older. May experience psychedelic effects.
I sure hope so. If not, I'm sending them back. But Perfect Spiral is the next one. That's my transition. Tired of corporate banking cartel and state-rigged markets stealing your wealth? Break free from those riggers and try Perfect Spiral Capital. They'll help you build your riches on your terms outside of their grip.
That's right. Invest like a dissident. Ditch the system. Own your future. No handouts, no bailouts, just real results.
The system is rigged, and inflation's eating your savings. Opt out now and stack real assets with Perfect Spiral. Build wealth that lasts.
Perfect Spiral Capital. No bullshit. No red tape. Just smart strategies for serious people who crave freedom and financial sovereignty.
Join the rebellion at perfectspiralcapital.com/system. All right. And we're back. Also up for the Nobel Peace Prize, the IDF. The IDF was nominated.
Fuck you.
Or somebody. The Jewish Chronicle, ironically enough, not ironically, said the IDF should be up for. I mean, it fits. If Donald Trump should have the Peace Prize with all of the bombs and chaos that he has delivered, and Barack Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize with all the bombs and chaos that he delivered, then the IDF seems to fit the criteria pretty well. So, speaking of, I guess, Jewish things, because that's just where we're going now. Just going to talk about Israel a bit. Ivanka was the first of quite a few people who felt the need this week to get their $7,000 check, probably more, by taking the tour, touching the wall, crying a little bit, and posting it on the internet. Here's her. She put pray heart emoji and her touching the wall. And there you can see her prayers in the wall, to which I responded, Epstein Files probably, as that note right there, which is, it's like it's got 10,000 views. It's one of my bigger posts. It's really sad how the internet works, where I spend like hours and hours on this podcast and like 12 people watch it. And then I say, dick fart poopy butt on Twitter, and people are like, oh yeah, let's go. That's great. We'll go through all of these latest travelers. Ivanka went. Then we had James Lindsay, everybody's favorite definite conservative, went and touched the wall and said, "Here I am, Lord, send me." The Democrat atheist guy, I'm pretty sure, of yesteryear is now, I don't know, he took the tour. There was another post that he had where he's like standing on top of an IDF tank, and he was like, oh, he had some snide remark as James Lindsay does, and I'm like, the normal tours, or the normal, definitely not like press guided tour where you get to stand on an IDF tank without getting shot in the face. Like, this is not normal activities that you're going on, but they go on these tours and they're like, see, everything's fine. They just let me stand on their tanks after I touch the wall. It's like, yeah, because they're paying you to do that. They're paying you to take the pictures. And possibly the greatest offender in, I guess, betraying his own country, which isn't even the United States, Tommy Robinson, who I don't know that much about, I'll be honest, but I remember back in the days of yesteryear, like when the alt-right was a thing and scary, like Nazi was a phrase that was only used on like Richard Spencer and Nick Fuentes and those folks. Tommy Robinson got caught up in some controversy, and I think he got arrested for saying some naughty things on the internet or something. So he was a bit of a poster child for, oppression and stuff in the UK and censorship and blah, blah, blah. And then he kind of disappeared for a while, and then he came back, and now he's just this, I don't know. He went on, I mean, he does have a website. If you go to, what is it? The website changes. Tommy in Israel, I think. Yes, TommyInIsrael.com. He bought a domain name for this tour that Rebel News is doing. Tommy Robinson went to Israel, and they're doing this tour travel vlog of Tommy Robinson asking all the hardest hitting questions. And if you go through some of the videos, it's like, it starts out with, I watched the October 7th footage that nobody else has seen, and I can't share it with you, but just know that it was so traumatic that I'm having a change of heart on everything. And then he goes to Israel, and then he goes on this tour, and like the first one's like, see how, like the headline is literally like, let's see if I can find it here. It's something like how normal Jewish people in the streets of Israel respond to Tommy Robinson's whatever. Like, and he's going around like, Avi Yemeni, I think is his name, is the guy he's an Israeli guy who is filming Tommy Robinson. He's part of Rebel News, and he's following Tommy around and showing how great Israel is and how nice these people in this section were to him. And there's a lot of strange things. I would recommend you go check out this vlog. We're not going to dig too deeply into it. If it keeps going, we'll probably do it. Maybe we'll do a whole episode and just break down some of the videos, but it is so obviously propaganda. It's just like, I had a change of heart, then I went to Israel. Now I'm in Israel, and I'm doing a mini series of, see, everything's fine. See, everything's fine. Look how nice everybody is and how much people love me. And there's one video where he's like, see how happy the Muslims are that live under Jewish rule or whatever. And all the Muslims are like, yes, it's great. It's great. And I mean, there was one where the IDF walks by and he says something to him, and Tommy's like, what was that? And the camera pans back as the guy's doing this, like handcuffs sign. And Tommy is like, says something like, are they friends? And he's like, yeah. Like, everybody's got like these pauses that, like, if you watch the body language and stuff, it's very, very awkward to watch. But it is entirely a mini series starring Tommy Robinson selling, you need to support Israel because, see, everything's fine here. Doesn't everything look fine? He never goes across the border, as far as I've seen so far, to actually show what's going on the other side and interview some of those folks. But, yeah, I've said a lot. Lots of people are going to Israel right now. Dave, any thoughts on that? And they all just happen to be just giant neocon influencers at the moment, be it Ivanka or James Lindsay or Tommy Robinson. So...
well, we can start with Ivanka. Maybe he's building that big, beautiful ballroom so she can be queen one day. No queens. Yes, queen. I'm pretty sure she's the first Jewish first daughter. And of course, married to Kushner, who's, laying out the blueprint, helping make these deals. Mm-hmm. So I find that very interesting. I really am triggered by James Lindsay at this point. I hate that the woke right took off amongst these people who are obvious shills.
It's amazing that anybody embraced him with his obvious bullshit.
and man tits
Mhm.
as well. I mean, who would listen to that? But yeah, of course he's over there. He's like taking pictures, like watching bombs drop in Lebanon. Like, yeah, it's just like you're sick, bro.
Yeah, that was
So,
a
yeah,
real post. I don't have it pulled up here, but he posted earlier today an image of like 7 to 10 bombs exploding in the distance. He's like, pretty neat, huh? Like,
Neat. Yeah,
Yeah.
having a great time.
Mhm.
Right. Of
They're
course,
bombing
he's going
terrorists,
over
though.
there.
They're just bombing terrorists. It's okay.
They're getting all the blackmail material they need on that guy while they're over there, and
Mhm.
probably paying him something. Obviously, trip's totally fully funded. I don't know much about Tommy Robinson, but I mean, all of these, just to go back to the episode title, like I'm, and we use that term "fed" loosely, but these guys, I mean, we use the term lockstep. They're all just doing and saying the same thing, and they're going after the same people. It's always Tucker Carlson is crazy. Candace Owens is crazy.
Mhm.
Dave Smith to a lesser degree, but like it is a coordinated effort by a lot of people who seem to be just like No Kings, very well funded and on a, kind of like a singular mission. And all this blending, I'm seeing more and more flags blending, the US flag and the Israeli flag, dude. They just want to make it. Different store, same groceries. Mossad, CIA,
Yep.
Judeo-Christian. We're just going to make this one big thing, guys.
Speaking of Judeo-Christian, that brings us back to everybody's favorite Judeo-Christian pastor who had a lot to say this week, John Hagee. John Hagee, who I remember from childhood watching on the television. John Hagee.
Me too, bro.
Yep. Here we go. Here's John Hagee's latest. Probably he's just defending peace and wholesomeness and Jesus and Christianity and the country that he lives in, I would imagine. Let's find out.
The Bible proves that the Jewish people are the most unique people on the face of the earth. They are a chosen people. They are a covenant people. They are a cherished people. They are the apple of God's eye. The unchallengeable fact of the Bible is that Israel and the Jewish people are unique. Listen, Israel did not choose this uniqueness. God chose it for them. Listen to David's prayer in 1 Chronicles 17:20. It's one of the most powerful words in the scripture. O Lord, there is none like you, nor is there any God beside you. And who is like your people Israel? Listen, the one nation on the earth whom God went to redeem for himself as a people. Chosen and still cherished. Deuteronomy 7:6, for you, Israel, are a chosen people, a holy people to the Lord your God. The Lord your God has chosen you to be a people for himself. Listen to this next sentence. A special treasure above all the people on the face of the earth. That includes the United States of America.
Let's fucking go.
The Bible proves that the Jew.
Bible proves
Clap, 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 clap. All of them.
Yep, we suck. We suck. Everybody here sucks in this crowd. Yep. I don't understand.
Dude, this is why for me personally, we come from like way different religious and whatever backgrounds. This is why
We meet
guys
in the
like
middle
this.
at fuck you.
Yes, and it's all roads lead to this is fucking evil. But that was as a child. This is what drove me to fucking be a militant atheist.
Sure.
These kind of I'd been to church for like weddings or funerals and things like that, but we never really like attended church.
Yeah.
And I never had really anybody in my family who could give another side of the story.
Yeah.
It was only the television pastors, dude. And wow, like even it's just kind of the tone and like I just you can sense the evil. Forget the words he just said. We'll get to that. But you can sense the evil coming off these guys. And that other guy who I can't remember his name, but he did that video by the plane and he had those fucking wide devil eyes. You remember that one? With the slick black hair. Can't remember.
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
These people are fucking possessed by demons.
Yeah.
And I still say that as somebody who's just
Somebody who doesn't believe in demons.
Right. I mean, essentially, yeah. But you call it whatever you want. They're possessed by something else. Is running the show.
Yeah, the crazy thing about this, like, I grew up with this. I grew up with this mentality, and I grew up thinking, well, that's just how it is, and I'm just too dumb to understand it or break it down. But let me try and break down what John Hagee just said here. And, okay, I know there are some scriptural references that he's using, and it sounds like Jesus, way back when Jesus said, the Israeli government of 2025 should bomb everybody out of existence, and we should support it as the United States. I mean, I guess that's what the Bible says, according to John Hagee. Perhaps Israel, the word, had different meaning back then than it does today. Just a hypothetical. Do a little bit of digging into that and see what you come across. But even if you just take this at face value, let's say I'm a Christian going to John Hagee's church, and John Hagee gets up on stage, and John Hagee says, the Jews are God's chosen people. The Jews who do not believe that Jesus Christ is the Messiah, at the very least. I mean, there are people who believe much worse things about Jesus. There are Jews who believe the Talmud and believe the things that the Talmud says about Jesus. But at the very least, they do not believe he is the Son of God. They do not believe that he is God. They believe that he is some sort of heretic at best. It's some sort of rebel and whatever, rabble-rouser. That's the most polite understanding that I can give. They don't agree. They don't believe in Jesus. They don't believe in him. And Jesus said, the people who don't believe that I was a thing are my favorite. This is, of all the people, they're the best. I love those guys. They're my boys, and I want to forever, no matter what they do, they can do no wrong. You have to support these guys because they're just so cool. I mean, they did nail me to a cross and, kill me and shit, but, they're so cool. I love them so much just cause I do. And I don't care if you interpret the Bible as saying that the current state of Israel should bomb the shit out of innocent civilians. If the Bible says that, then the Bible's bullshit. I'm sorry. If that's what the conclusion that you come to, then your Bible sucks. You should probably get a different one. Maybe not a Schofield Study Bible or something. I don't know. Maybe do a little bit more digging. I just don't think that God and Jesus are just so obsessed with the people that don't believe in Jesus as John Hagee, Jesus pastor on the television, seems to. But what do I know? Any thoughts, Dave?
It's been 3 weeks.
It's been a bit, yeah, a little rusty.
Got secrets in his mind, but they bounce around like a ball. He yells the hidden truths, but his mic is always off. So he's sharing all his wisdom to a silent coughing cough. From the moon landing fake to the lizards in DC, Dave's got a theory for every mystery you see. He waves his arms around with an epic kind of flair, but his voice just stays muted, floating in the empty air. Dave Casey.
All right, that's enough. Dave, any thoughts on my rant about John Hagee?
Yes. That I think that he knows he's, a shill, and I think that it's not your Bible that's the problem. It is the fact that this is a complete inversion. And again, just somebody, an outsider looking in here.
Yeah,
I would
more
say
of an
that's
atheist
about
than I am.
That's about as anti-Christ as it gets. Like, I don't know what else you would look for other than your supposed leader kind of putting you in a subservient slave position to genocidal secular governments across the world. I just feel like that's, the opposite of the stated mission there. You know what I mean?
It doesn't seem to check out, and there's been a lot of hoops that have been jumped through over many, many years by evangelicals to be like, no, it makes sense. Trust me, bro. It makes sense. It makes sense. Well, the internet has a funny way of breaking all that shit down.
He's telling you to spend your money on murder in Jesus' name.
In Jesus'
what
name.
The
for
fuck?
people that don't
That's
believe in
shit.
Jesus' name. Believe that Jesus is nothing at best. But, Here's another, clearly an evangelical megapastor that was at the same event to give his thoughts on the matter.
Every year, the United States provides roughly $3 billion in military assistance to Israel. The benefit we get from that, the Mossad, the intelligence resources. You look at Iran, where they knew where every anti-aircraft weapon was, every military
give
leader,
this guy a TV
every
show.
IRGC leader. That benefit, if America tried to replicate that intelligence network, it would cost us tens of billions of dollars.
Wow.
And I will tell you, every lunatic terrorist in Hamas or Hezbollah or Iran that Israel took out, made America safer, and the United States of America should say to that little nation,
Amen.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Brother Ted, thank you. Thank you. Hallelujah.
They are
Preach, Brother
blurring
Ted.
the lines.
Just a standing
Why, as a
ovation.
matter of That's why, as a matter of public policy, we should support Israel. But I want to close with this. God bless you, son.
What'd that guy say?
I don't know. Some protester yelled something out, and he said, "God bless you, son," and all the SEALs clapped because we like God. Therefore, everything he's saying is true.
Right. What God are you talking about, Ted Cruz? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Well, it's like Ted Cruz's argument there is a lot of people ask, what do we get in return from Israel? It's like he got asked that question on Tucker Carlson, that interview, and then he spent the next 2 months being like, shit, what do we get from Israel? I got to have a better answer for this. And then he comes back with like, hey, I found something. Mossad. We get Mossad. We get the intelligence agency of Israel. So it's like we have a little CIA over in the Middle East that helps us, and that is worth tens of billions of dollars for all the information that they give us. Nothing on, Epstein or how October 7th happened without a stand-down order in such a small place that has such an amazing CIA of their own and such an amazing military of their own, how their border was breached for this little event to be carried out. So many questions, but we get tens of billions of dollars of information from Mossad, and Mossad has only done good for us. Like, it's amazing the amount of what it took for him to come up with something. And what he came up with was, that CIA, I know you don't trust our CIA, but that CIA that clearly has ties with Epstein and blackmail rings and all sorts of shit, that's what we get. Well, Ted, I would rather keep my money and leave Mossad over there in Israel where they are and not get that, not have that entanglement in any way in our system. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, but I think he was in Israel for that, right? That's where they're at.
Oh, probably. I don't know.
So if they're in Israel, that's where you give that speech because everyone's going to fucking love it. And then you can make sure that it gets to Twitter. So everybody's like, oh, yeah, big audience. Fuck yeah, Israel, Mossad. All right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's,
yep.
And he's just so terrible too. All these people are just obviously blackmailed. I don't know.
I don't even know anymore. Probably just
terrible.
bribed, blackmailed.
Probably.
Who knows? It can't
Probably.
be. It can't be that every politician just comes to this conclusion on their own. Every single politician comes to the same conclusion, except for the ones that Donald Trump currently hates. Every other politician comes to the same conclusion that Israel is more important than the United States. So America first, because if you put Israel first, that's putting America first. And they've literally said such things.
Dude, these people are so retarded that they're calling Massie and Rand Paul feds.
Yep.
That's the inversion right there.
Yep.
These people are retarded enough to say that and at least run with it. Influencers will say it and then retards will spread it around. And we're in idiocracy. So
speaking of feds, Nick Fuentes lately, Dave. I need to get your thoughts. And we've had our thoughts on Nick Fuentes, and sometimes he says things where we're like, yeah, based. And sometimes it's like, I don't know about that. The conversation with Dave Smith and Nick Fuentes I thought was fantastic, and I feel like they challenge each other in such ways that kept them both honest on like what they're both pushing on their own thing. I enjoyed that conversation very much, but I have not seen anything lately I haven't seen anything lately that makes me think less that Nick Fuentes is a Fed than the Dave Smith versus Nick Fuentes conversation. There's nothing that I've seen that makes me think more that he's a Fed lately than supposedly he hit number 1 on the podcast charts. Number 1 when he was on Spotify for like a day or two before getting kicked off again, above Joe Rogan, above Candace Owens, above Tucker Carlson, like above, I guess that's Amy Poehler's The Ringer. I've never heard of it. I'm sure it's fantastic. But I don't believe that Nick Fuentes organically hit number 1 on the podcast charts. I just can't. Because yes, he is on a rise right now, but Joe Rogan has like a celebrity guest every like 2 days on his show. Another celebrity every couple days. And it's like a 3-hour conversation. Nick Fuentes is sitting in a room like we're doing here, so no shade, but he's just sitting there talking in front of a green screen to a camera, and he beat, even if for a second, he beat Joe Rogan in the numbers. I don't know if I can even bring myself to believe that, Dave. What do you think?
I can believe that. At least for like a day or like a certain amount of time. I heard, by the way, and again, I don't know much about this, but I heard that was some dude who, like a fan account, who set that up, who got that in there. Like he wasn't even running that. That's what he said.
Okay.
And it got taken down, I think, shortly after. Like, I don't know how that it was allowed to stay up. But if like those groypers, you see them on Twitter, like they seem to be fairly well organized, whatever their Discord chat is probably popping off all the time. Right. So, yeah, like I could see like, oh, if it got on their chat that's happening, he's on here and we can get episodes.
Sure.
Cool.
That's fair.
And I think Dave Smith's episode that he did with him was his highest view count on YouTube. So like
really?
So he's putting up numbers. So
does it also seem at all suspicious that all of a sudden everybody is having Nick Fuentes on, from PBD to Tucker Carlson? Did Tucker? No, I don't think Tucker has yet. Candace Owens had him on. Tim Pool was talking about having him on, and then that got canceled, but Dave Smith had him on, and all these people. I know, I mean, it makes sense. Like, if one person does it, then the market is like, oh, that went really, really well, and I guess this isn't going to get us kicked off of YouTube now, so I guess we'll do it. It kind of makes sense, so I can't throw too much shade there either, but it just seems odd to me, the cataclysmic explosion of this man that we were supposed to be so terrified of just 2 years ago.
No, that's fair. And I'm fascinated, again, when I talk about, sometimes it's hard to tell what's going on, right? The CIA's plan, you can't tell what's up and down. Yeah. When I see like Nick Fuentes and Tucker have been beefing, they're doing the Spider-Man meme. Yeah. You're the Fed. Sure. No, you're a Fed. No, you're a Fed. That's really fascinating because those guys are like two of the top dogs. And Tucker tried to join the CIA. His father was, heavily into deep state shit. Like for his whole life. Tucker's been to Nicaragua in the 80s, and he's it's kind of crazy that now he's in this position where he
was on Dancing with the Stars.
I mean, like he
I
used
found
to
that
be
recently.
Guy,
he was on
like,
Dancing with the Stars, which is I can't trust anybody who's been on Dancing with the Stars.
I mean, he was kind of like a salacious host to like talk to Britney Spears and shit. But like I am, even though I enjoy his show, I mean, he just had Alex Jones on, who's could be Fed, we don't know. He had this woman talking about nuclear weapons. He's had Ron Paul on, like lots of people that I enjoy listening to and I'm fascinated with. And it sounds good, it's good, but this whole like aesthetic that he has, that I'm just out here in nature, like enjoy that.
Sure. I think we lost you, Dave. You've been going into the Matrix for a bit, but I could hear you. Now you're gone. So if you can hear me, you should jump out and jump back in. Yep. There you go. Actually, while he's gone, let's go ahead and, if you have been struggling with injuries on the job, at your Mediacom internet service provider because you know that your service sucks, then you should possibly contact Lone Star Injury Attorneys. We'll be right back.
The great William Shakespeare once said, "First thing we do, let's kill all the lawyers." That's right. It is common knowledge that literally no one in the known universe actually likes lawyers. That is, until they're saving your ass. Max the Axe at Lone Star Injury Attorneys is a professional ass saver. A rare breed, though he be a lawyer, he is indeed a principled libertarian, a defender of the injured and downtrodden, a supportive, faithful Downers Club member, my personal favorite, and a shockingly kind and hospitable fellow at an award-winning personal injury law firm. So if you've been injured on the job in an automobile accident or some other form of cattywampus beyond your personal control, visit LoneStarInjuryAttorneys.com or just Google Max the Axe for maximum results. Consultations are free and you don't pay a single dime unless you win. Go with the pros at LoneStarInjuryAttorneys.com and get your ass covered.
And we are back. Sorry, Dave. We lost you there for a second. Do you remember where you left off?
Before I was so rudely interrupted by the CIA.
By the internet Jews?
Right, exactly. No, I was just talking about, I love Tucker's show. He's been heroic over the past couple of years, and anybody can change, and that's cool or whatever. But it does seem awfully just like kind of like theatrical. So I'm a little skeptical, and I've always been skeptical of Nick Fuentes.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that I'm becoming less skeptical that he's a Fed lately.
Okay,
I'll say, but I'm still either one could go either way, bro. But Tucker just went out there real quick.
We're gonna get to Tucker next, actually, on TPUSA. That is the very next thing. So hold that thought for 1 second. Nick, this might lend credibility to your theory that it's all organic. It might be. I don't know, but I guess Nick Fuentes, strangely enough, was going around on TikTok last week, and white women, as they do, just glom on to anything that's currently popular trending.
I have a hot take about it, of course. Spoiler alert, it has to do with the Jews in Israel. They're putting you in the labubu. I don't know how to say this, but you're going in the labubu. And Gavin Newsom will put you there. Gavin, it's like, lady, didn't your husband just get his face blown off like 2 seconds ago? And not to be insensitive about it, but everyone's thinking it. Who cares what this chob bitch has to say? Honestly, like, seriously, we're looking at that person, we're looking at her face, and we're like, I wonder what she has to say.
So easily programmable. They're like, we're going to go with the guy who's like making fun of women. I don't think these are anti-feminists. I think they're just women who saw a spicy trend and clicked on a thing and then put their face over it, which, I mean, would have gotten us kicked off of YouTube, I feel like, if we did it 2 years ago, maybe even 6 months ago. It's odd. It's odd where we've gone to.
It is, though, that there was a dark period there where, I mean, you were booted from Facebook.
Yep.
I was banned so many times. I got perma-banned from Twitter.
I've got like half of my show deleted over the years, and I didn't even realize that they were taken down.
For saying nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. And,
being honest.
Right, dude, I told this one chick on Facebook one time that she looked like Jen Psaki's doppelganger. I got hit with you can't bully people like that. That's what I got bullying? On Facebook.
I mean, that's bullying. For them to take you down is bullying Jen Psaki, because, I mean, just say that you look like that should not be an insult unless you're saying Jen Psaki is a ugly ginger cunt, hypothetically.
That's what I'm saying. It's amazing. Yeah. They give it away. So yeah, it's different times, I guess, but
it is, and it's different times. As we mentioned, Charlie Kirk is still dead. Turning Point USA is still going on, and it seemed strange. I don't know, for all the theories of TPUSA, like whatever Candace is saying, that people stabbed Charlie Kirk in the back, and we still have yet to see more evidence on that. I don't know. Time will tell. But there have been questions certainly raised as to people like Josh Hammer and even certain relatives to Charlie Kirk that have had strange, whatever, responses to the incident, if we are to take it at face value. Everybody assumed, if Israel killed Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk was turning on Israel, then obviously Tucker Carlson won't be invited back. Tucker Carlson was immediately invited back to the next event, it seems like. And I haven't watched the whole thing. There's the 2 clips that are going around where people ask him spicy questions. It seems to be that all anybody wants to talk about with his Tucker Carlson appearance is that people asked him spicy questions, and here's the first one.
I don't understand it because it makes no sense. Like, you're worth $50 million.
I'm not worth $50 million.
30 to 50.
Get off the fucking internet, son. Don't stop believing that stuff.
Oh.
$50 million?
Go back to cable news.
Sorry.
No, but I'm just... Look,
okay, you're too annoying. So I like the last chick who disagreed with me, and then we could have a normal conversation.
All right.
But you're telling me you're worth $50 million. What? Stop.
Okay, you got real defensive there. I just read a number that's a lot of money. Jesus Christ, calm down.
Don't use that phrase.
You're worth.
We're done.
Well, look.
Just stop.
Can I say one?
No, you can't. Not after you say that. Leave.
All right.
Now, people are using this as evidence that Tucker Carlson is just unhinged and can't possibly be bothered to answer questions because Tucker Carlson is a Jew hater, Israel hater. He's a CIA agent. He's not to be trusted. He's worth millions of millions. I would assume that Tucker Carlson is worth more than $50 million, but I have no idea. But he was like, oh, that's a ridiculous thing to think. Get off the internet. And then the kid got all defensive, because Tucker got defensive, and then the kid's like, oh, well, Jesus Christ, and what's your problem? And Tucker's like, no, don't say that. Get out of here. I get it. If I was in Tucker's position there, I'd be like, shut up. Shut the fuck up. You're such an annoying little piece of shit who's just trying to get a gotcha question on me right now. No, I'm not, or I am. I don't care if I am worth $50 million at that point. I would say if I was, but for the kid to come back and be like, oh, why are you getting so defensive? I'm the one on the stage here, and I can decide that you are done speaking. That's not an uncommon practice for anybody who is on stage taking a Q&A. If somebody's getting, causing a problem, and I get, as Tucker would see it, taking your Lord and Savior's name in vain or what have you, for him to be like, fuck you, go away. I have no problem with that. And again, I don't know anything else what happened in this I'm sure he gave a long speech. I do have one more clip of when he was asked about the CIA stuff that we'll get to in a second. But what are your thoughts on this, Dave? All the Tucker haters are calling this a big L, and he's just unhinged, losing it on this kid. What do you think?
No, I don't think he was unhinged. I think, if anything, Tucker is just probably didn't want to talk about that. But he knew his audience. He's so good at this. So he knew that when the kid, when he said JC, and Tucker heard the dull roar of the crowd get ready to boo I'm free to make this kid get the fuck off stage. So I don't.
Trump would have done the same. So the Tucker haters that are using it, Trump would have done worse.
I also agree with you that Tucker probably is worth around $50 million. I don't know. I haven't read a statistic. Right. And I think that he could have, I don't think that was out of line. I didn't hear the rest of that conversation either. Yeah. And that kid sounded maybe a little antagonistic, but not much. Ben Shapiro is a piece of shit. He could handle that.
Yeah.
Maybe you could have spun that a little bit differently.
It's a stupid question. I think his answer is odd because I suspect he's probably worth at least $50 million, but I don't care that he is. I think the question was stupid, and he could have been like, are we not capitalists here? Who cares how much money I'm making? Do you have a question about where it came from or something? Because I don't know if you've noticed, but I have one of the largest podcasts in the world, aside from that little gay fed in his basement, Nick Fuentes, that I don't respect. I don't trust anybody because they're all just Spider-Man pointing at each other at this point. And I'm like, anybody who's telling the truth, great. But I'm also not going to think the sky is falling or think that it completely blows Tucker Carlson's credibility out of the water because he didn't want to answer a snarky douchebag at his Q&A. Whatever. Here's the other one where somebody asked him if he was CIA, and I do think it's noteworthy that Austin Peterson posted this, and he said, "Truly bizarre. What happened to just asking questions?" Austin Peterson, a former libertarian candidate for president. We'll get to him more later.
I kind of just don't see a lot of change between, the Biden administration and now the Trump one in foreign policy. We're still giving a shit ton of money to Israel and Ukraine. Nothing is happening. The war's not stopped. He promised it'd be done in a day, and it's, I don't know, how many months? 8 months or something like that. It's a long time. Your dad was in the CIA, and I was wondering, does our government even want war to stop? Do they want conflicts to end? It seems like we have a difference of interests where we're getting told one thing and the other is happening.
I hate this kid because he just throws that in there in the middle of yes, it's like it seems like everybody agrees that this war sucks and that war sucks and Biden did it, now Trump's doing it, right? Also, your dad was CIA, now back to war, and so it's like it once again gives Tucker an out. But I don't think this clip gets into all of his answer. I think he does, in fairness, address the conversation about the wars and stuff, and he agrees with all of it. But this is the part that Austin Peterson was bringing up.
And I feel like there's not enough communication between different sects of government, and I really think the deep state's controlling everything, and we have no control.
Well, let me start at, obviously, you probably sense that I agree with a lot of that. Obviously, leave my father out of it. I'm gonna have to kick your ass, which I could do, by the way, if you bring him up again, because he was a wonderful man. Whatever he did for a living. So I really do hate that.
Yeah, I've got multiple minds on this. Also,
he is infuriated.
Give me your thoughts first. Go ahead.
My thoughts are that you just went, while Nick Fuentes my Fed detector is going lower, yours is going higher. You couldn't answer that? Your dad, what? Dude, do a Wikipedia search on Dick Carlson. Anybody with half a fucking brain. Dude, this guy was as deep state as it gets. So many administrations. Through it all. Ran did propaganda. Tucker is a propagandist, regardless of what you like, what he's propagandizing or not.
Mm-hmm.
He's following in the footsteps of his father, right? You know that he tried to join the CIA and he says, "Oh, I didn't get in." Okay, maybe you didn't. Maybe you did. You worked for MSNBC, PBS, Fox, and CNN. Will you just say whatever it takes? Whatever it takes, that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, I love your show, dude. And you and Nick Fuentes both say a lot of shit that I agree with. So, frankly, none could be feds. Both could be feds. But yeah, keep saying that stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll see. But that was telling. I want to see what a body language expert has to say about that. Don't ever mention my father's again. I could kick your ass. Bro, really? That's a little kid who was talking he probably just smoked a joint on the way in. Mm-hmm. Really? Come on, bro. You live in the woods. You should be more chill than that.
Yep. I can't disagree with you, but I will play devil's advocate as I do and intend to do. I don't trust Tucker Carlson. I think, especially around his father being a CIA guy, there's enough shady stuff there to question it because he has had differing, his explanation of it when he was called out on it, I believe by Nick Fuentes. He has had multiple versions of this story. I don't remember exactly what they were, but there was one time where he said it, and then a time after that where he said, I didn't even know that he was until I was called out by Nick Fuentes, but he had addressed it. So there's things that don't add up, and there's shady, suspicious things about that, but I will give him the benefit of the doubt on the I'll kick your ass. It didn't feel that triggered to me. As I understand where you're coming from, it didn't feel that triggered where he was being authentic. It felt more like, that's my dad. Can we just stop with this? I love my dad, and my dad worked. So if I can set aside the shady things about him not knowing or knowing or whatever about his dad being in the CIA, if I can put that aside and just judge this on face value, I can understand where he's coming from because, quite frankly, I know somebody who worked for the CIA. Absolutely lovely person. I don't know their level, their rank, or what information they do or don't have. Absolutely lovely person, and would go to bat for them to the ends of the earth. Absolutely. And if somebody was like going after them, I'd be like, well, I would kick your ass. Or I probably wouldn't say I'll kick your ass or whatever, but I might say something similar to that if somebody was like, oh, because CIA, then any affiliation, then blank. I don't necessarily, it is shady, and obviously I'm not Tucker Carlson, who knows this person in the CIA. Tucker Carlson is this guy who's been through the left-wing media, the right-wing media, all the mainstream media, and now has the independent, whatever, counterculture media. So there's certainly questions there, but on its own, the fact that he did or did not have a father who was in the CIA, and he is like, hey, I don't feel like talking about that. He probably doesn't have a lot of information. If he's just a guy who has a dad who happened to be in the CIA, possible, maybe not plausible, but possible. But if that's the case, and he's like, I don't have any more information on that because my dad was in the CIA. He didn't tell me anything on that. But he was a great guy from everything that I know about him. I can understand his perspective here, personally, which is very unlike me, but I got to play devil's advocate even on this, especially with
that
Tucker Carlson, probably a Fed, but who knows? I don't know.
That kid took forever to get that thought out, but if he would have just went out and went, so like growing up in the deep state house, I think the deep state still runs shit. What do you think? Like that, you don't have to mention his dad, but that's a fair question because that is how you grew up. That is a fact. So if he would have right after that been like, "I'll kick your ass," like
that'd be a lot more telling. Yes,
right.
And that's why I would. Whether these are groypers who are mad at Tucker Carlson because he's not, I don't know, anti-Israel enough, or he called Nick Fuentes gay or something and they're just mad at him for that, or it's a left-winger or something, could even be a right-winger that doesn't like Tucker Carlson because they think that he's anti-Semitic. Like, Tucker Carlson has haters in every camp at this point. I don't know the motivations of the person asking the question, but if I could give you, no matter what your side is, if I could give you any notes, just write out your question a little bit more coherently instead of like, hey, you know, these terrible things that are happening and these, oh, your dad's CIA. Also other terrible things that are happening. Like, once again, you give him an out. I like Tucker. I have nothing against Tucker. I'm skeptical and suspicious of Tucker, as I am of anybody who's in the public eye at this point. But if you're going to go out there and ask him a question, it's not that hard to have it thought out. I'm sure you sat through at least like a 40-minute speech that he gave there, and you had time to think about this, and you knew you were going to see Tucker Carlson at this event. Just try a little bit harder on these questions, because your questions suck. That's my biggest complaint about this. Your questions, kids, are terrible. You're giving these people outs where they don't deserve them. There are things that you can definitely pin them down on if you're tactful about it. But Austin Peterson brought that up and said, truly bizarre. What happened to just asking questions? Austin Peterson also came out against Thomas Massie fans to say, Massie fans getting ready for war with Trump. And it's Simpsons reference of Ralph stabbing himself.
He recently unfollowed me on Twitter, that faggot, because he's getting $7,000 checks. What a bitch.
We need to have a sound effect for the 7,000. We need to have like a cha-ching or something to get that in there, because I feel like it's going to keep coming up.
Bro. This guy, he's so dedicated. He could be cool, but they're just so fake, bro. I can't with these people. He wants to be an influencer so bad. Just wants to be at that table.
Yep.
You'll fucking sell out your fucking people for some shekels, chump.
I guess this works.
Yeah,
I'll go with that for now. Now, he got into arguments and defended his statement saying basically, well, he said, "You're right. I should just let everyone march themselves off a cliff for nothing. Don't let me get in the way of self-sabotage." So he's playing himself up as, Amity, who's a friend of the show, was arguing with him and talking about $7,000 posts or whatever. And he said, I'm changing my mind on things. I like you, Amity. I am trying to help you and other Massie fans stop self-sabotaging. The best course of action right now is to donate to Massie and door knock for him and not to fire back at Trump. So shut up, go knock on doors, blah, blah, blah. I'm here to help. I am Austin Peterson, libertarian at large, and the people who are supporting Massie because he is a principled, he's not even a libertarian in like any politics. He's a Republican, but he is the most libertarian human, it seems, in the entire existence of America at this point, because he's living off the grid, built his own home, driving to Washington, D.C. to be like, fuck you, fuck your stupid bill, I'm going back home, and you can't do anything to stop me. Now we have people like Austin Peterson being like, oh, stupid libertarians supporting Thomas Massie. Look, I like you. I like your style. But I'm here to help and let you know that what you're saying is stupid. Okay, Austin, what's the alternative? We just shut the fuck up and do whatever Donald Trump says. We voted for him. We're not anti-Trump guys. We voted for the guy. We supported him. I did an embarrassing amount of supporting Donald Trump episodes of this show, but then he got in and it turned out all to be lies. So your solution is go with the lies, bro. There's no reason to oppose Donald Trump at this point. Go with whoever he says. Go with Lindsey Graham. Go with Thomas Massie's opponent. Go with all those people. I mean, it's stupid to go with Massie because you're just stepping on a rake. You're just stabbing yourself in the heart if you support the principled guy at this point. It's like, so that's it. You're just a part of the system. Your role is to just do what the establishment says. Because we all voted for him because we got duped by very good lies that seemed to have some libertarian values in them. And now we're like, hey, that's not what you said. But Austin Peterson's like, Lindsey Graham would be better, obviously, because Donald Trump likes him. I'm here to help. I'm here to help you not self-sabotage by playing the game like everybody else does. Any thoughts, Dave?
Yeah, bro. Why can't he just call balls and strikes instead of being a sycophant?
Yeah.
Instead of being a $7,000 check receiver. Don't go to bat for the fucking, I'm pretty sure he identifies as a Christian. So you're gonna run defense for the government of Israel, dude? Fuck you. Fuck you. You're worthless.
Yep.
Everything you've ever said before that is now shit. Like, it's just like, say whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I knew I supported him because I got into libertarianism and the Libertarian Party while he was running in that race.
Yeah.
And John McAfee, him, Gary Johnson. I was like, coming from especially a conservative Christian background, I'm like, oh, that's an easier bridge, the Austin Peterson bridge of, yeah, we are against abortion, but we also think these other laws are stupid or whatever. I supported him. And then we watched, the first red flag for me was like after his run, or maybe even before his run. I don't know. I didn't pay attention before his run, but he turned into the guy who was like the debunking conspiracy theorists guy. Like that was his thing, his shtick for a while. And then his shtick was the Trump guy and the Liberty Trump guy. And now it's the Trump no matter what guy, like whatever Trump says goes. I should have known as soon as he was like, conspiracy theorists are crazy. It's like, you're no different than Reason Magazine. You just pretend to be the more conservative side, but you have the exact same views on those things as Reason Magazine does. So, yeah, go fuck yourself. And now the answer is don't run people who are successfully principled to the point that Thomas Massie has beaten Donald Trump's chosen primary opponents multiple times before. This is not even the first time, but now you guys need to get with the times because Thomas Massie, he's of yesteryear. Even though he's beat Donald Trump in the past in these primaries and the stuff that Donald Trump gets bitchy about. Now, I'm just helping you. Thomas Massie doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell, so you should just go with the flow now, guys. Guys, come on. You're just hurting yourselves. It's like, what do we have to fucking lose as libertarians at this point? What do we have at all? So what are we really risking in supporting somebody who is principled in libertarian values? Oh, we're going to lose our Chase Olivers? What do you mean?
Surely Austin Peterson is not arguing that we should support Thomas Massie's challenger, is he?
He's saying that it's a waste of time to support Thomas Massie. And let's see. He said, I'm changing my mind on things. I like you, Amity. I'm trying to help you, blah, blah, blah. The best course of action right now is to donate to Massie and door knock for him and not to fire back at Trump. He will forget soon, and then Massie will have more room to maneuver. Overconfidence that Massie will win easily is a very dangerous red flag. The past is not destiny. Beware. So what he's saying is he's not necessarily saying it's bad to support Massie. He's saying it's bad to attack Trump while Trump attacks Massie. So when the king attacks your principled guy, it's best to shut the fuck up for political purposes.
Just let him do it. It's like
let it happen.
When the dog's fucking your leg, just let it happen.
Let it happen.
It'll finish any minute.
Yep. I don't know. I mean, it's no worse than Gary Johnson's views. I don't know. I guess it's better that Gary Johnson just fades into oblivion and Joe Jorgensen fades into oblivion. I guess kind of Chase Oliver does. It's better that they shut the fuck up and go away when they have stupid views. That's my opinion. Also, for anybody who hasn't figured it out yet, we're not doing an after party today because there's too much news to catch up on. And as I said at the beginning, lots of links, not a lot of news. Everybody's Nazi still. Everybody's just bickering, pointing fingers and whatnot. Donald Trump is attacking Massie. Austin Peterson is now attacking Massie supporters. And then we have Twitter founder Jack Dorsey, censor guy of yesteryear who has posted a Murray Rothbard book or two on his Twitter at some point, which made libertarians think that that everything was going to be okay. Jack Dorsey posted that he endorses Thomas Massie for president, which is, something. It's something. It feels a lot like Jack Dorsey-isms, where he's just going to say something and it has no real backing, and he's going to go start like Blue Sky for liberal douchebags or something. Probably Jack Dorsey is supporting Thomas Massie because Donald Trump is against Thomas Massie. I'm not reading that much into Jack Dorsey's endorsement of Thomas Massie for president any more than Jack Dorsey is a fucking commie bitch of yesteryear who's trying to maintain relevance, and Thomas Massie is a principled guy who Donald Trump hates for principles. I don't think Jack Dorsey likes Thomas Massie for principles. I think he likes him because Donald Trump hates him. That's it.
Yeah, you have to weigh everything he says, even if it sounds good, against everything that he did before, which all sucked. So, yeah, I'm with you on that.
He posted Anatomy of the State, though, once. So he's a libertarian.
If only you were in a position of power now that you're saying cool shit.
It's funny how Elon Musk posted, Murray Rothbard and shit, and we're all like, oh, yeah, and then gets in, and here we are. Anyway, now to pivot a little bit, still keeping it on Thomas Massie, but Justin Amash, the Prague guy of the libertarians. We definitely want this guy. Everybody who says we definitely can't make the Libertarian Party more Republican, they want this Republican to be their leader, and they like him because he's anti-Trump much of the time. So Justin Amash came out this week and said, "Oh, genius libertarians, quote unquote, anointing Trump their liberty god, a false idol of unchecked authority, endless emergency decrees, and daily cronyism. Now the libertarian POTUS is on a crusade against the House's truest libertarian for the crime of being too libertarian." So what he's saying is, the plot thickens. Now we have libertarian establishment libertarian, Reason Magazine supported libertarians being like, well, the Angela McArdles and the Mises Caucus, they're stupid because they supported Donald Trump, and Donald Trump now doesn't support Massie, and so they're stupid because they called him a libertarian POTUS. And it's like, all right, bro. Hindsight's 2020. We fell for it. I don't know. I can't speak for like Angelo or the Mises Caucus or anybody else, but I fell for it personally. Me and my wife fell for it. It seemed like he had a lot of libertarian-leaning things. We were like, this is the best we've got. And then we fell for it and went for it. Justin Amash is now like, oh, you stupid idiots for thinking that Donald Trump was going to do something and calling him a libertarian POTUS. That's stupid. And now he's attacking Thomas Massie. Well, bitch, I didn't think that the guy that was saying end the wars and decrease the debt and cut the government spending and Doge and bringing in Democrats who agreed with his anti-war stance and wanted more healthy America. I didn't think that guy was going to also end up being the guy who attacked Thomas Massie for those things exactly. I didn't think that was going to be the case. I should have probably known that that would be the case, but to now be like, oh, you dummies for supporting this guy that now doesn't support Thomas Massie. It's like we supported Trump because he was supporting the things of Thomas Massie just 6 months ago, and then he completely pivoted on all of it. And now you're spending your time dogging on libertarians who could support Massie, but because they supported Trump, you just assume that they're not going to be Massie supporters. Well, you're an idiot then, because any libertarian that supported Donald Trump for his stated principles at the time is now supporting Thomas Massie, and we're all screaming at Donald Trump, stop being a fucking retard and support Thomas Massie. But you're going to dog on the libertarians instead of dogging on Donald Trump. I don't know. Any thoughts?
Do you think that's political? I was thinking maybe that's
setting himself up for something.
It's a test trial balloon for 2028 or whatever in the Libertarian Party, because I'm sure
he's a fan of those exploratory committees, it seems.
Of course, and this would be my criticism of Justin Amash, who I'm a fan of, by the way. It's just that he's kind of like dipped his toes in a little bit here and there, but like you, for whatever reason, didn't want to do it or couldn't do it. So it's like, bro, you couldn't do anything either. Like, that would have been neat. And I would honestly, there have been times, and there probably will be other times where I could envision myself supporting you for president.
I would, if it was Chase Oliver versus Justin Amash.
Oh my God. Right.
Easy call. Not a problem.
Exactly. So I wish that he didn't have this kind of like told you so spirit. Yeah. But to me, that seems like he's probably trying to ride the wave of capital L libertarian.
The rage wave.
Sentiment. The rage wave from inviting Trump for all this. Inviting him and getting the things that we got, I think was the right decision. But if you're still on like the Trump train after like the track record of the past 9 months, I mean, you got to like really reassess there. Not to say that the USAID stuff wasn't great and trying Doge wasn't great. RFK, great. Ross, great. These are things that would not have happened. A great amount of stuff in the 2A community. Lots of stuff that wouldn't have happened under Kamala Harris. That's a fact. But there's obvious terrible things too. But we're gonna get a beautiful ballroom doing some. So it's not all bad.
Not only those things, but I gotta give some props to Angela for her part in the freeing of Roger Ver, who is now free. It's not enough. You gotta keep going.
Shut up, silly woman.
All right, we got them all in. Roger Ver, who I worked on the campaign for, thanks to largely Angela for putting my name in on that campaign. Roger Ver has made an agreement with the DOJ, and he has to pay a stupid amount of money because the DOJ is retarded. He has to pay a stupid amount of money, but he is essentially walking free. And yes, I thought about I feel like I should have brought that up at the beginning of it, but it felt like more important to bring it up after, Justin Amash being like, hey, you dummies, you got Trump in there. And what do you think now? He's attacking Thomas Massie. Okay, Roger, what'd you do? What'd you do in that time? You attacked some libertarians? Did you do something, Justin? I don't know. I honestly don't know. And I'm open to being wrong. Maybe you did something and it just wasn't pertinent enough that it made the headlines or got into my newsfeed, but I haven't seen anything from you, Chase Oliver, Joe Jorgensen, Gary Johnson, Bill Weld. I've not seen anything out of these people nearly as much as the value that I've seen out of people like, I don't know, Thomas Massie, Angela McArdle, and so on. But, keep being mad that Donald Trump is the president. It was going to happen whether or not Angela supported him. But in Angela supporting him, she got a seat at the table with the establishment and has now had a couple wins, as opposed to all the wins that the Libertarian Party got before. Name them. Name them. Go ahead. Go ahead and name them. She got something. You got nothing. Good job. Anyway, moving on. Good job, Department of Justice, for doing one thing almost right, even though it's still a hostage negotiation at this point. But Roger Ver is able to go and see his family, and that is the win for me. And I think, well, I can't say a lot on the Roger situation, but he's gonna go off and be Roger and make the world a better place, as Roger does. And Justin Amash is gonna yell at Angela McArdle on the internet. Now, Massie, for all of his good, he did, this came out this week. It says, breaking, Thomas Massie calls for banning the U.S. government from using propaganda on the American people. Now, this seems like a good thing. It should be a good thing, except for, well, I posted, let's see, Massie, we're banning propaganda. Me, who made that banger Massie AF propaganda doc, and it's got the shifty eyes, monkey. Yes, Massie's gonna ban propaganda. I don't even know what that means, though. What does banning propaganda even mean? If you make an ad for the U.S. military, that's propaganda. If you say you should join, that's propaganda. If you say, I don't know. Give any scenario.
They're not saying that propaganda can't exist. They're saying that the government can't propagandize the people.
What does that mean, though? So they can't make ads for the military? They can't even say, hey, join the military? That's propaganda.
This is something, there was a law on the books until I think 2012 that says you're not allowed to do it. And then they said.
Yeah, they took it away. And it is very shady and suspicious. And I would prefer that we lean towards less government propaganda than more, certainly. I just don't know how you make a law and determine where the line is. Because if you're like, go get your new driver's license, guys. Like, that's propagandizing somebody into going to get their new driver's license, and that's government propaganda. So I don't know how you even enforce that or where the line is.
I think there's got to be a line between, or maybe that's not the word, but there should be something different between advertising and propaganda. And so I think, and better yet, it shouldn't be illegal to lie, but it should be illegal to lie to pass policy.
Yeah.
So
well,
I'm all for making
the
government not do
doesn't
stuff.
necessarily mean lying, because the Thomas Massie propaganda was propaganda and it was not lying.
We should look into that law that is now on the books.
We should.
And then, because we talk a lot about propaganda on the show anyway, you do it for a living. So we should see what they're allowed to do now that they weren't allowed to do before. Judge based on that.
We should. Speaking of propaganda, a couple more things here. Benjamin Netanyahu has announced that he has a new Instagram channel, and that is big news. Not only does he have a new Instagram channel, but he needs to read it off of a piece of paper with seemingly gigantic print there to make sure he gets his words correctly. But here's what he had to say about his new Instagram channel.
It's hi, everyone. This is the new account for my press office. We're launching with a Q&A, so you can ask me everything and anything. I'm not saying I'll answer everything, but try me.
So he had to read off of a large piece of paper. Hi, everyone. This is my new channel for
hi, everyone. This is the new account for my press office.
A new account for his press office. So his propaganda, his specifically directed press has an Instagram account, and they need you to know that. I did want to show what is on this. He said that there's going to be a Q&A, so he's going to take questions. He's like, I won't answer all of them, but try me. Oh, so charming. But the first thing that he posted was that video. The very second thing that he posted was this.
So everybody, just follow me, 'cause we need a little controversy, 'cause it feels so empty without me.
It's an AI video of him and Donald Trump as Batman and Robin in the Eminem music video without me, and they're just bobbing along to. They're just best buds. He is Donald Trump's sidekick. They are great pals. Nothing to see here, nothing of concern. But yeah, he's got a new Instagram account, and you can ask him questions. He might not answer all of them, but try him. In other words, we've got an approved list of questions, and if you stay on that, I will answer anything, any single question on that list that you ask of me. Any thoughts, Dave? You gonna go follow?
Oh, no, that's not good for my rage or my anti-Semitism, which is only being kept in check by by my anticipation for Spaceballs 2.
That's right.
No, I just hate that guy so much. Did I tell you that he went to high school like 3 counties away from me?
No.
Bro,
Maybe.
he went
I
to
don't
high
remember.
school. Again, this is Wikipedia shit. He went to high school in Montgomery County, PA, like an upper class suburb of Philadelphia. Graduated from high school there. You know who else went there? Mark Levin.
Oh, nice.
Do you find that fascinating?
company.
Because I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think they were 8
Patterns.
years apart, which is, a couple years there, but I feel like maybe there was some activity at that private school.
That's just your Tylenol autism. Just noticing some patterns there, Dave. It's just,
Yep.
Speaking of autism, we got to at least touch on Ben Shapiro, because Ben Shapiro the Daily Wire had their, I guess they do it once a month, where the 4 of them that are left remaining who haven't pieced the fuck out of that place at this point get together and have a conversation. It's Ben Shapiro, Jewish American, Andrew Klavan, Christian Jewish convert, Michael Knowles, Catholic, Matt Walsh, Catholic, I believe, both of them. And so everybody's just kind of like watching Matt Walsh and somewhat Michael Knowles, mostly Matt Walsh, because he seems like the most fuck you type that at some point he's going to follow in the Candace Owens footsteps and the Brett Cooper footsteps and be like, I've had enough. Some people thought this might be the point because they had this conversation and we didn't even mention, the Nazi shit. Apparently there's some Democratic candidate in Maine who has a Nazi tattoo on his chest or something, but he did get it covered up with something else that may or may not be Nazi-ish, or there's a Nazi tattoo also on his arm that says 1919 or something. I don't know, dumb shit. So Democrats are Nazis. Also, the big news of last week was that there was this Young Republicans group chat where some young Republicans made some nasty remarks that were like anti-Semitic or like making jokes about rape or whatever, Nazi stuff, blah, blah, blah. The right wing's Nazis, the left wing's Nazis. I bring that up because this conversation is kind of about that, where Matt Walsh is like, we need to unite with anybody who we can unite with at this point as the right wing. Like, the kids telling jokes is not the end of the world. And he, I guess, pushes Ben a little bit on that and says, well, the left wing is obviously worse because they're the ones claiming that men are women and children are animals and Charlie Kirk should be assassinated. And he's like, there's no equivalent to that on the right, where Ben Shapiro is like, well, yes, but no, because you might be under threat by the left wing, but I'm under threat by everybody because I'm Jewish. So the right wing is currently now trying to assassinate me. Perpetual victim, Ben Shapiro. The most notable thing, I feel like, and I know I've done way too much setup for this, but the most notable thing I feel like here is the body language of Matt Walsh here, because he does come out to claim that he was not under duress in any of this situation. But I will submit for the record, Matt Walsh, blink 96 times in a minute of footage where you're being chastised by your Jewish boss if you are under duress. And here's the conversation. Oh, play.
Again, I'm not even disagreeing with the motivations of the Politico story. In fact, even on my show today, I talked about the motivations of the Politico story, which, Matt, I agree, are completely scurrilous and designed to distract from the sort of violent rhetoric we've seen from the left. But it has led to, I think, a reactionary response on some parts of the right to say there should be no policing ever at all. No social consequences should ever attend to things that are said on the right, that it's basically just pure my side versus your side. The problem I have is, number one, I think that's immoral, and number two, I don't think that's pragmatic. I don't think that's moral, because I think that there are things that get said on the right that are really, really, really ugly, and pretending those away doesn't make them go away. I think that they're rising. I think that they're getting more common. I know that my death threats from that side are getting more common. I know I have more security because of that, and it's not just from the left. I have lots of security from the left, and I also get lots of security from the right. Matt, I think a little bit earlier today you tweeted that kind of your litmus test is the people who are trying to kill you, and I totally get that. I also have that litmus test. The difference is that I think that if somebody tries to kill you, Matt, there's a good shot that it's going to be a leftist. If somebody tries to kill me, it's a frickin' Agatha Christie novel. I just don't know which direction the bullet is coming from at this point, given the sort of various and sundry radical extremes that exist. I'm not going to say that the right is equivalent to the left in this respect, because I don't think it's been mainstreamed to nearly the same effect on the right that it has been on the left. But to pretend that it has not infiltrated a lot of very important spaces, I think is sort of whistling past the graveyard.
So there's that conversation, if you will, between Matt Walsh and Ben Shapiro, where Matt Walsh said the heinous thing of the left being worse than the right, and Ben Shapiro I feel like, at the very least, again, Matt Walsh did come out and be like, I'm not under duress. He didn't say it like that. He was like, if you watch the entire conversation, it was all very civil, whatever. He's defending his boss. But you can defend your boss. In the entire conversation may have been civil outside of that, I don't know. But just on that clip alone, it's like, it looks like, at the very least, even if he's not like, oh, shut the fuck up, this is stupid, it looks like Matt Walsh, being the logical, dry guy that he is, who understands how the internet works, is at the very least like, oh God, this is gonna get clipped. Like, he's sitting there just taking it, and maybe the blinking wasn't him being mad at Ben Shapiro for chastising him or browbeating him or anything. Maybe it was Matt Walsh just being like, this is not going to go the way you think it is. I know how this is going to go, and this is, oh God, okay. Yep. And Michael Knowles doesn't look that much more comfortable. I feel like both of these guys are kind of like, Ben, can you just tone down the Jewiness a little bit for 1 second, to the point that you're not, chastising your Catholic star. Matt Walsh is the star of the Daily Wire at this point. There's no debating it. #1 documentary twice, I'm pretty sure. He's the star. That's why everybody's like, when are you going to call it? But you're browbeating your star, whose entire shtick is like calling people on their bullshit. And Matt Walsh has done a magnificent job of sitting tight and waiting this one out on the whole Israel stuff, seeing what happened to Candace Owens. But at the very least here, it appears to me that he's like, nope, this is not going to look good. And you don't even, your head's so far up your ass that you can't even see how you sound right now chastising me. Or he was chastising him and Matt felt like shit because he's like, I'm tired of this bullshit. But I don't know. I'm not Matt Walsh. I won't pretend to be like so many other people on the internet. But Dave, any thoughts on this? Is it the end of Matt Walsh for the Daily Wire, or are we reading too much into it?
I don't think so. Man, because I think Matt Walsh knows what's up. Like, I don't think he's an idiot. And I bet you that he knows, like, okay, Ben Shapiro's coming out here and going, oh yeah, I'm really worried. I got to get my security up there too. Cause influencers are getting popped, I gotta protect myself. I got it coming from all directions, guys. You only have it coming from one side. Like, that to me sounded like and again, I totally believe that Ben Shapiro is a foreign agent in every sense of the word. Like, literally, he is serving a foreign master and has for, going on 15 years and fully funded. And when he says, oh, if Matt gets it, it's going to be from a leftist. Mm-hmm. Like, to me, that's like, dude, you're on a fucking live podcast. You want to talk about if Matt gets it?
Right.
shut the fuck up.
Right.
Don't fucking joke. And don't say it's, oh, I got it coming from all directions. Because you know what, dude? I bet you got way more security.
Yeah, and also
way
Matt
less-
Walsh is the one that's going out and doing the documentary Man on the Street stuff and taking the risk. Ben Shapiro is sitting in his comfy little studio and claiming the victim. And if you recall, we praised Ben Shapiro when Charlie Kirk got assassinated, and Ben Shapiro came out and he was like, I'm going to start doing this campus tour. Where's that campus tour, Ben? Where's the major risk that you're taking in sitting in your studio, zooming with your partner and chastising him for saying, hey,
you praised
it's
him
not
for
that big a deal.
I said he was coffin surfing.
Sure.
And he still is. And fuck him for that. Fuck Jack Posobiec for saying, you know, The Atlantic, a CIA fucking publication, comes out, a deep state mouthpiece going, oh, there's a gap that Charlie Kirk left, and it's Jack Posobiec. Fucking Isaac Cappy, who he called this years ago. Mike Cernovich, Laura Loomer, Jack Posobiec. These guys are foreign agents. Go look that shit up. He got thrown off a bridge, by the way.
Isaac Cappy?
But Isaac Cappy starred in motion pictures like Thor, put out by your favorite Marvel people over there. So he had a big future ahead of him, and he got chucked off of a bridge.
I need to look more into Isaac Cappy. I've heard some of the rumors, but I haven't seen much of. I didn't know he was an actor.
He was terrified.
I knew he was Hollywood.
He was
tenure.
terrified.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, fuck Ben Shapiro, dude. I mean, it's the same script. They're all Insurrection Barbie is. Oh, are the Jews in the room with you now? Like they're doing the same shit that they did to Ron Paul for saying the same things. Stop the wars. End the Fed. This is all the same shit, just on a much bigger scale. Like the cat's out of the bag. It's again just a
Also, it's the Muslims were the ones who were convincing the United States to start a bunch of wars. I'd be just as Islamophobic as Laura Loomer right now, and it's perfectly fine to be Islamophobic again. That's back on the menu because, they're the scary ones that we don't understand. Israel, everybody goes there, everybody touches the wall, everybody knows they're the good guys. But those Muslims are our biggest threat. And Qatar, that country that nobody ever heard of up until like 3 months ago, when all of a sudden they're our greatest threat that every single influencer is being paid by. Literally, while Israel announced that they're paying influencers to post things, Qatar, they're our biggest threat. Whoever the fuck that is, who knows? But, we got people like Seth Dillon of the Babylon Bee, who we all fought for Elon Musk to buy Twitter so that the Babylon Bee could come back. Like, if you think about how crazy this is, that the freedom of speech platform was created largely because of the Babylon Bee banning. Seth Dillon of the Babylon Bee posted, we're already winning, and we'll continue winning if only we stay healthy as a movement. That means treating our cancer and killing it before it kills us. Now, I don't know who the cancer or what the cancer is that he's referring to, but he's had a big issue with anybody who's at all, against the war in Gaza, against Israel's actions, against the genocide, against all that shit. The guy that Twitter became a quote-unquote free speech platform for is now like, well, now that we have this free speech, you need to support Israel and our movement, the Matt Walshes of the world that are trying to unite our movement. They need to get lost. Maybe not Matt Walsh, but anybody who he's trying to unite with, all these evil demons that are against this war need to get lost. We're already winning, and we will continue winning if only we stay healthy as a movement. That means treating our cancer and killing it before it kills us. Now, if a leftist posted that MAGA is a cancer and we need to kill it before it kills us, that would be called incitement of violence. Also, Seth Dillon just got somebody arrested because they made a death threat on the internet to him. This is where we're at, and I don't have much more to say on that other than, holy shit, where are we at? Let's wrap this up and get out of here. Any final thoughts, Dave?
Yeah, I can't tell who the feds and who the Nazis are, bro. I just really can't at this juncture. So it's anyone's guess. But I loved the topic tonight because especially the Fuentes Tucker stuff. I find that really fascinating because I like to think that I have a good, like a niche here. I can kind of got my finger on the pulse, but I can't tell those
It's
guys.
hard.
So I'm fucking watching. I'm watching. Yeah, whole world's a stage. Do not follow Benjamin Netanyahu on Instagram. Try and ward off these fucking Zio bots on fucking Twitter. Jesus Christ, it's a shitstorm, and they're just all so very terrible. And shame on fucking Austin Peterson for joining their ranks. Gross. Anyway,
Agreed.
Great time chatting with
The
you.
world
tonight,
is
bro.
a stage. The world is a stage, and this is ours. But where can people find your other stages, Dave? Any plugs you've got, or anything you got going on?
Yeah, you can find me at Dave vs. Goliath 1 on Twitter, and also at dissidentmedia.com and Dissident Media on Twitter. And yeah, other than that, man, support people who are doing the work out there. Like, still, the Mises Caucus is doing shit. Firearms Policy Coalition, Libertarian Institute.
You were just on the
Mises
Mises Caucus, weren't you? Their podcast?
Yeah, I was just did a podcast. Yeah, dude, I love Aaron over there, and they just had Angela on. I'm gonna check out and see what she had to say. Not sure that I'll be at the next convention, but I might. I'll still applaud them from afar. So
Sure. I won't be voting. I know that, but I never have up till now. So I'll be there shooting it if they want to pay me.
There you go.
Yep.
But that's it for me. Thanks for having me, dude.
Absolutely. And you can find me at TSIDpod on Twitter, TheSystemIsDown.tv, or wherever the System Is Downs are sold. Also, DissidentMedia.com for both of us, and a whole bunch of awesome stuff and much more in the works. I've got a show this Saturday if you happen to be in the local area. I know that nobody praises the actual hometown heroes, and nobody in my hometown knows that I do this podcast. It's probably better that I keep it that way. But if you happen to be in the local area, Mississippi River Brewing Company, I will be out on Saturday playing some emo shit and doing what I do with some dark humor and a good time, a good drinking, hanging, mopey time. But yeah, that's it. Thank you all for being here for our catch up. I guess the theme of the day is everything sucks. Everything's stupid. Everyone's retarded. Everybody's offended. Yep. I told you, Dave. I told you. You didn't believe me, but here we are, and it still sucks. Everything still sucks. And all of your favorite influencers hate each other because they can't trust each other. I can't trust them, but I listen to them and I like what a lot of them have to say. I would suggest you do the same. Have some discernment, pray for discernment even, and listen to everybody and see who rings true. A lot of them do ring true, and then they have some things that don't. So I don't know if the feds are just getting really good at their job. I don't have that much faith in the Illuminati because all their main elitists suck ass and just are complete dog shit. I have a hard time believing that all these people are controlled, but it's possible. It's not impossible. So, put your discernment conspiracy cap on, as all of them would probably recommend you do at some point in their career, and, put them through a fine-tooth comb and listen to what they have to say. Don't be scared of people, because that's how you get. That's how you become Laura Loomer, who lives her entire life in fear of the Muslims that are making her life such a constant struggle. Sorry, Laura. I know that there's just so many Muslims running around firebombing your vans and whatnot. Hang in there, Laura. And hang in there to the rest of you. Be on the lookout for any suspicious activity, especially from Muslims, because they're the number one threat. Cutter. If they're wearing a Cutter name tag, then you know. I don't know what the world is anymore. See you guys next time. Until then, question everything, stand comfortable, be bad, have fun. We'll talk to you then. Peace out.
Thanks for watching. Smash all the like and subscribe buttons, because that's what we say at the end of videos. Good night, everybody.
This concludes our broadcast day.